Have you ever been in a situation where a woman seems to be acting differently around you, but you're left wondering, is she into me, or am I just imagining things? Maybe she lingers a little longer when talking to you. Maybe she laughs at your jokes, even the bad ones. Or maybe, just maybe, she finds small excuses to be around you, but you're not sure if it means anything. Here's the truth. Most women won't come right out and say, "Hey, I like you." That's just not how it works. Instead, they drop subtle but powerful hints, tiny signals that most men completely overlook. And when you miss those signals, you miss the chance to take things to the next level. But don't worry, that ends today. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 secret things women do when they want you to notice them. These are the behaviors they won't admit to, the actions that speak louder than words. And trust me, if she's doing even one of these, she's waiting for you to make a move. And here's the deal. Stick around until the very end, because the last sign is the most overlooked. But it's also the one that tells you with 100% certainty that she's hoping you'll notice her. Welcome to Stoic Spirit. Here, we break down the psychology of attraction, the power of detachment, and the wisdom of Stoicism to help you become the most confident, unshakable version of yourself. If you're serious about leveling up in dating, mindset, and self-mastery, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss what's coming next. All right, let's get started. Number 1. She mirrors you without realizing it. Psychology doesn't lie. People subconsciously mirror those they're attracted to. Have you ever noticed that when you're talking to someone, they start copying your movements? Maybe they lean in when you do, tilt their head the same way, or even pick up their drink just seconds after you. This isn't a coincidence. It's called the mirror effect. Here's what makes it so powerful. People don't mirror just anyone. They do it when they feel connected, engaged, and attracted to the person in front of them. It's an unconscious reflex, meaning she's not doing it intentionally. It just happens when she's deeply in sync with you. It's a biological and psychological sign of attraction, something rooted in human behavior to create rapport and closeness. Think about it. Have you ever caught yourself mirroring someone without realizing it? You only do it when you genuinely enjoy the conversation and feel connected, right? Well, women do the exact same thing when they're drawn to a man. What's even more interesting? Mirroring doesn't just reflect attraction, it actually increases it. When someone copies your movements, your brain perceives them as more likable, familiar, and connected to you. So if she's mirroring you, she's not just showing interest, she's deepening it without even realizing. How to spot it? The next time you're talking to her, pay attention to these small but revealing behaviors. If you lean forward, does she do the same? If you adjust your posture, does she subtly match it? If you run a hand through your hair, does she touch hers moments later? If you nod while talking, does she nod too? Almost at the same time? These aren't just random actions. They're signs of subconscious attraction. But here's where it gets interesting. Mirroring can happen in more than just body language. If you're speaking at a certain pace, does she start matching your rhythm? If you use certain words or phrases often, does she start slipping them into conversation too? If you seem excited, does her energy rise to match yours? This is deep psychological mirroring, and it's a strong signal that she's tuned into you, not just physically, but emotionally too. How to test this? Next time you're with her, intentionally change something in your body language and watch her reaction. Try this. 1. Cross your arms casually. Does she do it too? 2. Lean back and relax. Does she follow your energy shift? 3. Take a sip of your drink. Does she reach for hers right after? 4. Lower your voice slightly. Does she unconsciously mirror your tone? If she mirrors you without even thinking, she's tuned into you. Have you ever noticed someone mirroring you before? Did you realize it at the time, or did it only click later? Tell me in the comments. I want to hear your story. And that's a major sign she wants your attention, whether she realizes it or not. But why does mirroring happen? And what does it mean for you? Let's break it down. And what does it mean for how she sees you? Keep watching, because the next sign reveals even deeper psychological attraction. Number 2. She creates coincidences to be around you. Have you ever noticed that she just happens to be around you more often than before? Maybe she's suddenly showing up at the same places you go, getting involved in things you like, or reaching out with random excuses to start a conversation. At first, you might think, wow, what a small world. But let me tell you something, it's not a coincidence. Women don't put themselves in a man's orbit unless they want to be noticed. Unlike men, who might take a direct approach, women prefer to create opportunities for things to just happen naturally. Instead of outright telling you she's interested, she subtly places herself in your life, hoping you'll connect the dots. But most men miss these signals entirely. And when you don't notice, she might assume you're not interested. So how do you tell if she's doing this on purpose? Let's break it down. The subtle ways she just happens to be around you. She suddenly starts showing up in your routine spots. You always go to a certain coffee shop, gym, or bookstore, and now she's there too, more than before. Maybe you've casually mentioned your favorite lunch spot, and a week later she's checking it out by chance. You notice that no matter where you are, somehow she's there too. Coincidence? Maybe once or twice. But if it keeps happening, it's intentional. She takes an interest in your hobbies, even if she never cared before. Suddenly, she's into the same TV shows, books, or music you like. You love a certain sport? She's now trying to get into it. She never mentioned hiking before, but now she's asking about the best trails. Here's the thing, women don't start liking things randomly. There's always a reason. That reason? She wants to have something in common with you. She finds excuses to start conversations. Hey, didn't you mention you love insert interest here? I just saw something about that. I think I just ran into your friend the other day. So funny. Wait, you go to this gym too? I just started coming here. These aren't just random messages. They're her way of keeping the connection alive. She's not just talking. She's making sure you remember her. She asks around about you. If your mutual friends start mentioning her name in conversation, she's been asking about you. She might casually bring you up in group settings, testing the waters to see if you'd respond. Sometimes she'll even use mutual friends as an excuse to be around. Oh, I was just hanging out with friend's name and figured I'd say hi. Remember, women don't accidentally end up in your life this often. If you start noticing a pattern, she's giving you an opening. The question is, are you paying attention? Have you ever noticed someone suddenly showing up in places you go, like it wasn't just a coincidence? Did you catch on, or did you completely miss it at the time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. How to spot this and respond the right way. Want to know if she's truly interested? Try this simple test. 1. Mention something new and see what happens. Casually bring up a new hobby or interest you're getting into. If she brings it up or tries it out, she's tuned into you. 2. Notice if she's mirroring your routine. Next time you see her randomly at your usual spots, just smile and say, you know, I feel like I see you here a lot. It's almost like you're following me. If she laughs and plays along, she's enjoying the attention. 3. Pay attention to the effort she puts in. Is she trying to keep the conversation going? Is she actively creating ways to stay in your world? If the answer is yes, then congratulations. She wants you to notice her. The only question is, are you going to make a move, or are you going to keep pretending it's all just a coincidence? And here's the kicker. There's another powerful signal that a woman is interested in you, but most men completely ignore it. Keep watching, because the next sign reveals something even deeper. Number 3. She plays with silence to get your attention. Most guys assume that if a woman stops texting first, she's not interested anymore. But what if I told you that sometimes her silence is actually a strategy? That's right. When a woman who was once engaging suddenly pulls back, she's not necessarily losing interest. Instead, she might be testing you. Absence creates value, and she knows it. If she was always texting first, responding instantly, or initiating conversations before, but suddenly she slows down or becomes less available, it's not always because she's losing feelings. Sometimes she wants to see if you will notice her absence. So how do you know if she's playing this game? And more importantly, how do you respond? Let's break it down. Why women use silence as a strategy. She wants to see if you'll chase. Women understand something most men don't. When they suddenly disappear or pull back, it can trigger a man's curiosity. If she stops texting first, she wants to see if you'll notice and take action. If she watches your stories but doesn't reach out, she's making sure you notice her presence without making it obvious. If she suddenly takes longer to reply but still engages, she's testing if you'll panic and start over-texting. A woman who is truly uninterested will completely stop engaging. No texts, no replies, no watching your stories, no interest in your life. But a woman who likes you will pull back just enough to make you feel her absence, but still keep one foot in the door. If she disappears completely, she's moving on. But if she keeps subtly engaging without reaching out first, she wants you to make a move. She knows that silence can make you miss her. Think about it. When someone constantly texts you, is always available, and is always in your face, you might start taking them for granted. But when someone who used to give you attention suddenly stops, you start noticing their absence. You start wondering why they're not texting anymore. And guess what? That's exactly what she wants. By pulling back, she makes you feel her absence. And if you suddenly feel like you miss talking to her, she's won. She's making sure she's not the one chasing. Women don't like feeling like they're the ones doing all the work. If she's always been the one initiating conversations, planning meetups, or making an effort, she might pull back just to see if you'll step up. If you don't, she'll think you were never into her. If you do, she now knows you care enough to put in effort. Either way, she gets her answer without ever having to ask. But the real question is, how should you respond? How to respond without losing power. What most men do wrong, they panic and double text. Hey, you okay? Did I do something wrong? They start chasing harder. I miss talking to you. Why aren't you replying? They try to force a response. I guess you're too busy for me now. These reactions instantly kill attraction because they show neediness instead of confidence. What you should do instead. Step 1. Match her energy. If she slows down, you slow down too. If she takes hours to reply, you do the same. If she watches your stories but doesn't text, don't reach out first. If she suddenly stops initiating conversations, pull back and see what happens. This shows confidence and communicates, I don't need constant attention to feel secure. Step 2. Let her feel your absence. If she's using silence to get your attention, the worst thing you can do is give it to her too easily. Instead, make her wonder where your attention went. Start focusing on your own life. Post on social media without trying to impress her. Be busy, productive, and let her feel what it's like when you're not always available. The more unbothered and confident you seem, the more she'll wonder if she's losing you. And that's when she comes back stronger. Step 3. If she's genuinely interested, she'll return. If she likes you, she'll notice when you stop chasing. She might start texting first again. She might comment on your posts. She might suddenly bring up an old inside joke just to see if you'll respond. This is when you know you've won the game. But if she doesn't come back at all, that's your answer. She wasn't that into you to begin with, and now you've saved yourself from wasting your time. Final thought. The power of silence. Women understand that sometimes the best way to make a man notice them is by disappearing. If she was once engaged and suddenly pulls back, she's testing you. Does she slow down but still engage? She's waiting for you to step up. Does she stop texting first but watches your stories? She wants to see if you'll notice. Does she give you just enough attention to keep you thinking about her? She's playing the game. But remember, this only works if you let it. Your move now. Are you going to chase, or are you going to stay in control? Keep watching, because the next sign is even more obvious, but most men still miss it. Don't be one of them. Number 4. She touches you casually but often. Physical touch is one of the clearest signs of attraction. But here's the thing, it's never just friendly. A woman won't go out of her way to touch a guy she isn't interested in. So if she's finding little excuses to make physical contact, you need to recognize that it's intentional. Most guys overlook this because they assume she's just playful. She's naturally touchy with everyone. It probably doesn't mean anything. But it does. Here's the truth. Women use touch to create a bond, test attraction, and build comfort. If she's touching you casually but often, she's sending a strong message. She's comfortable with you and wants you to feel it too. The different types of accidental touches. The playful push. She laughs at your joke and gently pushes your shoulder or chest. She lightly taps your arm when teasing you. She jokingly slaps you when pretending to be annoyed. This isn't aggression. This is flirtation. It's her way of saying, I feel safe playing with you and I like the tension it creates. The excuse touch. She brushes something off your shirt even if there's nothing there. She fixes your collar or adjusts your jacket. She lightly grabs your wrist when making a point. These little gestures are not necessary, but she does them anyway. Why? Because she wants a reason to touch you without making it obvious. The oops, that wasn't on purpose. Touch. Her leg accidentally touches yours under the table, and she doesn't move it. She sits close enough that your arms are brushing together. She accidentally bumps into you when walking side by side. Here's the secret. If she wanted to avoid touching you, she would. If she allows or even maintains that contact, it means she's comfortable in your space. The prolonged touch, instead of a quick tap, she lets her hand linger for just a second longer than necessary. When hugging you, she holds on just a little bit longer. If she touches your arm, she might run her fingers lightly before pulling away. This is not by accident. When a woman lets touch last longer than a brief second, she's seeing if you'll respond to her energy. What to do next? So you've realized she's initiating touch. Now what? What most men do wrong. They ignore it completely. Big mistake. They pull away too quickly. This kills the moment. They overreact and make a big deal out of it. Too obvious. What you should do instead, step 1, hold the moment. The next time she touches you, don't pull away immediately. Instead, hold that moment. If she playfully pushes you, gently push her back with a smirk. If she fixes your collar, hold eye contact and say, "You like fixing me up, huh?" If she brushes against you, stay relaxed and let the energy flow naturally. This creates tension, the good kind. Step 2, mirror her energy. If she's touching you, it's an invitation to escalate physical connection. But that doesn't mean jumping straight into intense touching. It means matching her level of comfort. If she taps your arm, lightly touch her back during the conversation. If she leans close, don't lean away. Stay in the space with confidence. If she lingers after a hug, keep your hands on her waist just a second longer. Confidence is key. If you react awkwardly, she might second-guess her attraction. But if you stay calm, grounded, and unshaken, it reinforces the chemistry. Step 3. Use it to create an emotional spark. Touch is one of the fastest ways to build attraction because it bypasses logic and hits deep emotions. If she's already initiating touch, you can use that to strengthen the connection. Try this. Lower your voice slightly when responding after she touches you. It increases intimacy. Playfully challenge her. "You keep touching me like that. Should I be reading into this?" Introduce playful tension. "Careful, if you keep touching me like this, I might start thinking you like me." When done right, this creates a flirty, irresistible dynamic. Final thought. If she's touching you, she's telling you something. Women don't touch men they're not interested in. Guys, think about it. Has someone ever touched you in a way that made you wonder if it was on purpose? Did you catch it in the moment, or did you only realize later? Let me know in the comments. If she's finding little excuses to be physically close to you, initiate touch, or let those moments linger, she's testing the attraction between you. She playfully pushes you. She finds excuses to touch you. She accidentally brushes against you. She lingers in physical contact just a little too long. The question is, are you going to notice it and respond, or are you going to miss your opportunity? But here's the real kicker. There's one more sign that's even stronger than touch. It's something women do when they truly want a man to pay attention to them, but most guys miss it completely. Keep watching, because what's coming next will change how you see attraction forever. Number 5. She finds reasons to keep talking, even when the conversation should be over. Have you ever been in a conversation with a woman where it should have ended, but somehow she keeps it going? Maybe you were about to walk away, But suddenly, she asks another random question. Maybe the topic seemed to wrap up, but she circles back to something you said earlier. Or maybe, just as you're saying goodbye, she suddenly remembers something she forgot to tell you. Here's what most guys don't realize. This isn't accidental. It's intentional. A woman won't extend a conversation unless she enjoys your presence. She's giving you an opportunity. But are you paying attention? The hidden meaning behind this behavior. She's making it easier for you to stay. Women understand that men don't always pick up on subtle signals. Instead of outright saying, "I like talking to you, don't go," she finds ways to keep you engaged. She's testing. Do you enjoy talking to her as much as she enjoys talking to you? Are you just being polite, or are you genuinely interested in her? Will you notice the effort she's putting in, or let the moment slip away? She's trying to create more connection. People don't extend conversations with people they don't care about. If a woman wasn't interested, she'd let the conversation die. She'd give short answers, avoid asking follow-up questions, or find an excuse to leave. But if she's keeping things going, she wants to feel more connected to you. She might bring up shared interests to see if you two can bond over something. She might repeat something you said earlier to show she remembers details about you. She might ask about your plans or opinions to gauge where she fits in your life. She's not just talking, she's trying to get closer to you. She doesn't want to lose momentum. Have you ever had a great conversation with someone, but the moment ended too soon? Women feel this too. If she's into you, she wants to prolong the moment so that when you leave, you'll still be thinking about her. She might ask a random but personal question right before saying goodbye, bring up a new topic at the last second, keeping you engaged, tease you or challenge you on something, creating playful tension. She's doing this so the energy between you doesn't fade. The question is, how are you going to respond? What this means and how to respond. What most men do wrong, they don't pick up on the signs and just end the conversation. They respond passively instead of engaging deeper. They miss the chance to build attraction by not keeping the energy alive. What you should do instead. Step 1. Recognize when she's extending the conversation. Next time you're talking to her, notice. Does she ask follow-up questions, even when the topic seems over? Does she find reasons to keep talking, even if they seem unrelated? Does she lightly tease or challenge you, keeping the energy playful? If the answer is yes, congratulations, she's into you. Step 2. Give her a reason to keep talking. If she's making an effort to continue the conversation, don't just give short, boring answers. Instead, engage back with curiosity, humor, or deeper questions. Try these. Playfully challenge her. You're finding a lot of reasons to keep talking to me. Should I be reading into this? Leave her wanting more. I could tell you, but maybe I'll save that for next time. Get her invested in the conversation. That's actually interesting. What made you think of that? When you do this, you create a dynamic where she wants to keep the conversation going. Step 3. Use a cliffhanger to keep her thinking about you. One of the best ways to leave an impression is to end the conversation on a high note with unfinished business. Instead of just saying, "Okay, nice talking to you, bye, try this. I actually have a crazy story about that, but I'll have to tell you next time. You won't believe what happened to me yesterday. I'll text you about it later. I have a question for you, but I'll save it for when I see you again." This does two things. It keeps her thinking about you even after you leave. It gives her a reason to look forward to talking to you again. Final thought. She's giving you an opportunity. Will you take it? Women won't go out of their way to keep a conversation alive unless they care about your attention. She asks extra questions when the conversation is ending. She circles back to things you said earlier. She finds small excuses to keep talking, even when it seems unnecessary. She suddenly remembers something just as you're about to leave. These aren't random, they're intentional. So now, the ball is in your court. Are you going to engage and build attraction, or are you going to miss the opportunity? And here's the thing. There's one final sign that's even stronger than all of these. It's something women do when they truly want a man to notice them, but most guys never realize what's happening. Keep watching, because what's next will change how you see attraction forever. Final words. Read the signs, make your move. Here's the truth. Women may not say it, but they always show it. They might not walk up and confess, "I like you." They might not make the first move outright, but if you're paying attention, their actions will tell you everything you need to know. And if she's doing any of these 5 things around you, she's waiting for you to step up. She mirrors you because she's subconsciously drawn to your presence. She creates ways to be around you because she wants to be in your world. She plays with silence because she wants you to notice when she's not there. She finds ways to touch you because she's testing the chemistry between you. She keeps the conversation going because she doesn't want it to end. The question is, are you going to notice these signs and take action, or are you going to let the opportunity pass you by? Here's something most men don't realize. The difference between the guy who gets the girl and the guy who stays stuck in the friend zone isn't luck, it's awareness. The men who win, they don't wait. They recognize the signals, they trust the energy, and they take action with confidence. So now that you know the signs, what are you going to do the next time you see them? Which of these signs have you noticed before? Or do you know another sign that most guys overlook? Drop a comment. I might feature your answer in a future video. Your turn. Have you ever noticed a woman doing these things? Maybe you've realized in hindsight that someone liked you, but you missed the signals? Drop a comment. I read every response. Like this video? Hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss another game-changing insight. Thank you for watching. Now that you know the truth, the next move is yours. Are you ready to take it?